I'm more than willing to share my experience and where I came from and how I established the trust. Basically, my passion came from the fragile soul, the busted individual at school. I was in a special needs class, couldn't read or write. I didn't read a book until I left school. I valued the power of books because I had a beautiful grandmother who used to read books to me, bedtime stories and things like that. So I developed a passion for special needs, and I started out as a volunteer at the Rutherford IHC, and it just unfolded, and eventually I ended up working at Templeton Hospital, Kimberley Hospital and Māori Hospital. I became a psychopedic training officer, which was on the education side of looking after people with special needs. But they were shutting the institutions down, so I was becoming unemployed. And at that particular time I got a chief heat and decided to go and have a look at Australia. I spent 10 years there working in residential accommodation, and eventually got homesick for New Zealand and wanted to come back. And it's always been my mission, while I was working in the state institutions, they basically taught me how Hitler looked after the Jews. A very cruel, barbaric lifestyle for these beautiful people. And my feeling was they're better off dead, or offer them a better lifestyle. And at that particular time I got my act together and decided to open up this little organisation called the Supported Lifestyle Hauraki Trust. And it was based on 3 other amazing people: Maria Montessori, Rudolf Steiner, and a guy called Jean Vanier.
I like the way you say other.
Yeah, well, at the moment I want to document the philosophy because I've fallen off my perch. It became too much for me. Accountability, transparency. I developed an amazing little organisation through creative accountancy. I basically robbed off Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, it's dreadfully deviant. Is there anyone from the MOH here?
Peter, tell them about how your place was different. What's different about the supported lifestyle compared with the way that people with what would you call it?
For instance, idea services and the other.
Yeah, it's very person-centred, and it's based on a fibre of love. I actually don't believe you can do any good to another person unless you give them the time of day, make them feel worthy of while, and respect.
We got to work one day, and Wendy was all alive. Her eyes were shining. She was as excited as anything because she'd had a phone call from this guy called Peter, who ran a place called the Supported Lifestyle Hauraki Trust down in Thames, who had a whole lot of people with special needs who needed literacy help. And he was retiring, going away for 3 months and coming back and wanted to teach literacy. We went down there eventually once he got back. Well, first of all, we got an email back saying, "Hey ladies, I'm home." In Peter's inimitable style. When we went down there, we were blown away with the community that has been created down there. They have a farm that the people that are part of the community work on. They have a house that is a restaurant, really, where people can go for food. Do they pay for that, or is it part of...
And we give a free meal to anyone who wants to dine with our lifestylers.
That's right, so we got free meals.
And the food's fabulous.
It was fantastic. It was just like the best restaurant in Auckland would be.
What I've established is a community within a community, and the reason why I got into bed with you guys is I want to teach these residents in this little community within Thames to be decent citizens, and the only way to do that is through education, and I'm a strong believer in education, although I'm deemed dumb, and that was through the education system. So now I wanted to teach these lifestylers, to teach the uneducable how to be decent people, and the best way to do that is through reading and writing.
So, how's it gone so far?
It seems to be doing all right. The trust has just got too big for me now. 20 years ago, we had 2 clients, and I think it was $2,000 worth of income, and that was IHC as foster child. And now we've got 70 clients, and I think it's about 7 mil of your taxpayers' money.
Some of the clients have their own houses in Thames.
Yeah.
The community within a community thing is, I think, what's so very, one of the many things that's very different.
We had a lifestyler, he was my first client. When I arrived in town and we chose Thames, I actually wanted the Westport down the South Island. Real estate was really cheap, and the client base, it was all ancestral. So I had plenty of clients. But we chose Thames because it's more comfortable.
There's so many ex-Aucklanders there.
And one of my clients, my first client, and he was an amazing guy and he's still with us, his parents died and left him some money. And around about that particular time, he was a Maori boy, and I believe he's got Down syndrome. There was a lot of prejudice with him and within the community. So he got a slight inheritance. I had a house that I sold him really cheap, and therefore he's a resident now, and it's really difficult to get rid of him. You know, they tried to get him out of it. Yeah, he had some accidental social behaviours that weren't terribly kosher, scratching oneself in public. Yeah, and his jock strap wasn't that tight.
Okay, it's going.
She's visualising. He's now one of our students.
One of the things about our visit to, all our visits to Thames is that our faces ache from laughing by the time we leave. The actual literacy didn't go as well as you expected, did it?
No. I'm
Getting buy-in was hard.
Yeah, I'm upset about the technology side of life. Gary and I, we've got a beautiful computer suite. We've got something like 6 Apples. A lot of the stuff, the software that I'm receiving is not Apple compatible, and we really need to address that. And our IT man is really difficult to negotiate, and unfortunately I press his button and we just don't get on. But I find the electronics, the intellectually impaired people have a knack, like they can get onto a dirty site quicker than I can. And my logic there is if the clothes come off, the screen goes off.
Which makes
So
you
back to
how literate some of them are.
Yeah. So we were talking at one point that you were having trouble getting the people that you thought needed literacy to be motivated.
Yep.
And that's something that if anyone's got any ideas, tell Peter. He won't listen, but tell him.
The power of words.
What did you want to know?
Motivation.
Motivation for, well...
Motivation for people with disability.
I can't believe you can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do.
No.
So therefore you've got to seduce. When you use words like that, you think you're after something else.
Yeah. Some time ago I worked for Taikura Trust, which is, Taikura Trust. And I worked in the community, and my role was to work with community groups that actually functioned and needed support from Taikura Trust. And what we did one year, one of the universities had I can't remember what the name of the place was. Anyway, they would send a great box of books, and each student got a huge box of books and a mobile phone. There was all sorts of stuff, all sorts of learning things. And it was not. It was no good to them. You give it to them, it was no good. But what we did is I would bring them all together on a Thursday, and we would do our work, and it took us much longer, but we got them all through by meeting and setting homework and working through it. But there were about, I think it was 7 of them that did it. We did it together.
How did you get them to come? Because of the mobile phone in the box?
Because of the mobile phone and books.
Yeah.
And the morning tea.
Yeah.
The lunch.
That always
He
works.
feeds them
He feeds them well anyway.
Yeah. But I mean,
chocolate
the
biscuit.
fact that they never really ever got anything sent to them. So this little box of stuff would come every so many weeks. Okay, we finished this box, you'll get another box.
Yeah.
And that box made such a difference to them. Got more books. I didn't think some of the stuff wasn't right. If I did that sort of thing myself, I would have set it up with different sort of books. But it worked. And we got them through, and for some of them it was the first thing that they'd ever achieved.
I think that's a good point too, that it's often the first, everyone loves getting parcels in the mail.
Oh yeah.
As long as we've still got mail.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
It's on the way out.
It is. But
Where I'm at now is I actually don't have to work, and I possibly don't want to work anymore. But I'm a great believer in somewhere to go, something to do, and always have hope. And that was my trust philosophy. Unfortunately, I've got nowhere to go, nothing to do. I'm complete,
No,
We'll find something for you next year, Pete.
But
What's that?
if I
We'll
get
find something for them to do next year.
if I go back to work, I want to move these people forward in life. I just don't want to market them. And they're revenue earning units. I remember 20 years ago I went to a government and they said to me, how many revenue earning units have you got? And I went, no, I've got lifestylers. We call them lifestylers because we're offering them a lifestyle. Yeah. The other thing that I'm working on at the moment is the discrimination between us and them. And I'm having great difficulty with that. And how do I break that barrier down? It's teaching them to try and be normal. And I know everyone goes, well, what's normal? Well, I'm a classic example of normal.
Carnegies normal.
Yeah. But teaching them to be decent human beings and a decent citizen in a community. Compassion, consideration, all those beautiful flowery words.
Right, well thank you, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I've got a couple of
Nice note to end
DVDs.
on.
Gary, can you hold up? Yeah, and I only bought two. A couple of years ago we had the 20th birthday party at the Trust, and it's kind of, it makes old ladies cry, so I could test it out on
It actually,
Fine that we're on.
it's very touching, it's an amazing video to put on. Thank you very much.